So hello, namaskar, ram ram, sat sri akal, kya hal chal? This is Ayush Kumar. Come up with the videos number 34 today. So as you know that I have told the topic of today. Huh? What are you saying? I have not told the topic. Okay, then let's disclose the topic. What is it? The cardinal rule of behavioral change. Now you may be wondering what is the cardinal rule and what are about these topics and where this topic is going to be. So without any further delay, let's get started. Zoom. Okay, so let's first discuss about the cardinal rule of behavioral change. The cardinal rule is something that says that what is immediately rewarding will be repeating. Means जो चीज़ आपको रिवॉर्ड कर रही है वो चीज़ आप रिपीट करोगे. एंड what is punishing means what is immediately punishing will be discarded or will be rejected, avoided. Now what does this means? Let me explain you this with two examples. One is for immediately rewarding and one is for immediately avoiding, immediately punishment. So immediately rewarding. There are some people who have the habit of drinking cigarettes, drinking alcohols. What that do? That produces nicotine in the body. That boosts your feel-good hormone. Then what did that work? It makes you feel good. The second example of this, immediately punished, will be avoided. Why? Let's take the example of exercise. The exercise is something which will reward you in the future. It is not rewarding instantly, but it is punishing. It is giving you pain. It is giving you lots of pain. So these are the two examples of this cardinal rule of behavior change. Now next, let's move to, there are several examples that I have read in this chapter, and it is very interesting chapter. The cardinal rule doesn't mean it is bhari bharkam chapter, but it is very interesting chapter. So let's start with first example. There is Stephen Luby, who is from Omaha, Nebraska. I'm sorry because these names are so bhari bharkam to. Because we have simple name Ayush, Ankit, Aryan and all, but their names Stephen Luby. What to do? Mike Tyson. What to do? These are bhari bharkam names, so pronouncing is difficult. Let's move on. What they have gone to Karachi. Although Karachi is a big city, big place, but everywhere there is slums and squatter. And do you know, almost 60% of the population are there in squatter, lives in squatter or slums. And the main thing about slums is, very bad thing is, discarded waste are deposited there. Discarded waste. The CV is flowing with so much dust and all the things. Contaminated water, which leads to diarrhea, plague, dengue, malaria. Even that slums, as you know, the slums lives are that the children, most of the children are malnourished. Right? So what did they do was, this Stephen Lube, what did they do was, although in that slums, the people are aware of the soaps, that washing hand with soap is good. But thinking about it and making it in consistent manner is very much important. But they are lacking there. So what this Stephen Luby did was, she put this, what she sees was that the soap was not good in fragrance, nothing like that. Means people are like, if the women are making food, they are not washing hands. Means these soaps are not getting into their daily life. So they collaborated with someone. I'm here. It is not given the name, but let me tell you. Example is important. Name is not important. Okay. So what they did was they made the flavored soap. Flavored means which foams right, and it takes less time to wash and all. Can you imagine what is the result? Everyone is consistent in washing their hands. Means it has adopted in their daily life. And can you imagine with that washing hands, almost 70% of their problem has been gone with that washing hands. बीमारी छू मंतर. Can you imagine? But they did not stop here. What did they do was, after 6 years, they had again gone to see what the results are. And at that time, 98% of their livelihood are clean, and they are aware of it. Can you imagine? And they are disease free. In Karachi, I am talking about. So this was the result. Means, and you are wondering why I have told you this example. Because it is making satisfying the things that are at your home, the toothpaste that you use, the soap that you use, the body washer, cleaner, and all that you use. It makes you satisfied, not with the cost, but also with its product. That's what it is saying. Make it satisfying. It satisfied the needs of the slum people. Although it was free, but it was adopted because they liked it. They liked the fragrance. They liked the foam. That's what I'm saying. Right? This is the first example, very first example of cardinal rule, behavioral change. The second example, old people example. Old people. I know you have heard about the soap. I'm sorry about soap. Okay. You've heard about the Dant Kanti toothpaste. When I visited my grandfather's house, there I have seen the Dant Kanti toothpaste, and I really don't like it. Don't like it. That Dant Kanti. Because what that Dant Kanti is, it is like a datun that old people used to do before. Whether he lives in city, or he lives in town, or he lives in village, he used to do it with it. That one, datun. That's why this Dant Kanti is flavored like that, so that old people can be attracted. It satisfied the needs of the grandfather, and it has been added to their daily routine. Why? Because it is easy. If an old person is doing datun, it takes more than 15 minutes to complete that. But with toothpaste, it completes in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Hardly. And it is flavored. Well, let's assume you are chewing and chewing gum. Wow, what a phrase. You are chewing and chewing gum. Okay. And the twist is, it is unflavored. It is tasteless. Would you have the guts to take that chewing gum or eat that chewing gum again? No. I don't have the guts. उससे ज़्यादा मैं करेला खाना पसंद करूँगा, राइट? और च्युइंगम टेस्टलेस ही रहना है, वैसे ही खाना है, तो उससे अच्छा मैं करेला खाऊंगा ना जाके. Why I will eat chewing gum without taste? That's why it has been added flavored, like fruits and all, like mint and many more things. That's what I'm saying. Two things I've told. Why we use the products. It make us satisfy. And it has to do with the our habits also. Make it satisfy. Why I'm telling about the product. Because when our habits will be satisfied, then only. But it is not about satisfying. It is about cardinal rule. मीन्स इमिडिएटली जो प्लेजर दे रहा है, इमिडिएटली जो हमें खुशी दे रहा है, उसको हम लोग एक्सेप्ट करते हैं. एंड द इमिडिएट पेन वी रिजेक्ट, वी अवॉइड. ओके, नेक्स्ट एग्जाम्पल. देयर वॉज अ पर्सन, फ्रेडरिक बैस्टिएट. आप ही खाली नहीं है जिसको मैंने बैस्टर्ड पढ़ा था, मैं भी उसी कैटेगरी में हूँ. When I have read the book, I pronounced him as a bastard. And I know you have listened it from my mouth. It's bastard only, but it is Bastiat. Bastiat. Okay. What he says was, it almost always happens that when the immediate consequences is favorable, when the immediate now consequences is favorable, the later consequences will be disastrous. Why it has told that? As I have given the example of cigarette and alcohol. Immediate consequences is favorable, means you feel satisfying, सातवें आसमान पे आप. But outer consequences, it destroys the livers, hearts, pumping of the blood. All the blood is flowing out of the body. हमेशा मजा बुरे काम में आता है बबुआ. Well, let's assume, in what thing you enjoy more? In doing exercise, where you feel pain and all, or in eating in a heavy manner your favorite food obviously eating, but that leads to obesity in the long run. Everything bad habits cost more, but it is more satisfying and it is more. According to this book, our ancestors, it has given an example of an animal. Suppose an animal, what their work? Whenever they feel like hunger, they like like lion. Whenever he feels like hunger, he go bring food by catching it, and he eat. He satisfies his hunger. Immediate gratification. Immediate satisfaction. Getting my point? That's why I've given the example of an exercise in which we feel pain, and eating, we feel satisfied because immediate satisfaction. Oh, let me ask you one thing, or let me give you a task one thing. Whenever you have to buy something, try to buy it twice. One is from online and one is from offline store, by visiting the store. And I can guarantee you will be more satisfied by visiting the store and not online. Suppose I have to buy a t-shirt and I have buy it from two places. One is online and one is here. Because online it is taking 5 days, 6 days. But here I am going to the store and I am telling that I want this, or I am picking it simply and going to the counter and paying the bill, and the t-shirt is with me. So at that time I will feel more satisfied because I've given the money and the thing has come to me. But on the online mode, even if I've paid, it will give me satisfaction after 5 days, and the satisfaction will grow like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, and down. That's what I'm saying. That's what. Now it is told that it is all these examples are simply says, I know you may be wondering what this example says. It simply says that everything that is satisfying now will always cost you in the future, and everything that is giving you pain now will always cost better in the future, like health. Eating healthy food will be better now, but it will cost very much in the future. Means it will give you reward in the future, and we don't want to delay the reward. Even I don't want to delay the reward. But every good thing gives reward at the end. But bad thing gives the reward now only. That's what I'm saying. Here it is a famous quote given that in my 10th standard or the 7th or 8th standard I've learned about this. The road less traveled is the road of delayed gratification. In the world, can you imagine how many people are suffering from obesity? Why? This was the great example for this. The road less traveled is the road of delayed gratification. वो रोड कम ट्रैवल किया जाता है, वो रोड पे कम जाया जाता है जहाँ पे ग्रेटिफिकेशन बहुत बाद में मिलेगा. Let's assume the example of Jio. Jio has been launched in 2015. But do you know the work has started from 2008 2009? It took them 6 years to get satisfied with the results that Jio has given. And if they have simply give up at that time, 2008 and 2009, then another company will be at the top. Would be at the top. Because first mover advantage is important along with the market competition. Getting my point? Here one more thing is that the last mile is always less crowded. Let me give you an example of mine. I have ran 21 kilometer, means I have participated in 21 kilometer running, and 540 candidates have participated in that. And till the last of that ending of that race or ending of that marathon, only 200 people left. 200 people left in the race, and rest have quit. So that's what he is saying. The last mile is always the less crowded, because many people give up because of less focus, because of not being consistent. Because of facing challenges so much, because of getting tired. This was something it. Now let's change the topic. Not the topic. How the short-term gratification can be used for longer advantage. Short-term gratification जो है उसको longer advantage में कैसे किया जाए? How to do that? There was an example. There was a couple. According to this book, this was the last example that I am giving, and after that I will wrap up the video. Although this video has been so long, but it's totally alright because I have given all the many examples, because this chapter is very much interesting. Very much interesting. That you will get to know. Each and every example gives a very important thing. When I have read this book, I have read it twice. Read this chapter twice. It is that much interesting. Right? So, where am I? Yeah, there was a couple. What did they do? They have the habit of going out and eat. Eating habit of going out. They have a habit of going out and eat. Every single day they do. So next time what they have done is, they have made a bank account and they were trying to travel to Europe many times, but due to the budget problem and many more things, they don't go. So that account name they have done is trip to Europe. And whenever they go out and they have the craving to eat, what they do simply do was that dollar, whatever dollar it would spend, they transfer it into that account, that traveling account, that travel to Europe. They have made the name. They have give the name of travel to Europe, and within 1 year, they have saved that much money that it can not only recover the cost of this going to Europe, but also coming to Europe has been also recovered with that, along with fooding, lodging, and all. So their short-term gratification was eating too much, eating out. What they have done was they've saved it. This has given them satisfaction that I'm saving somewhere, and at the last of moment, they were getting rewarded of going to the Europe without any cost, without any extra cost. Means they have to not even break their that budget to travel to Europe. Getting my point? So this is the last example of this cardinal rule of behavior change. But it is not the cardinal rule. It is that short term, how short term things can be. Short term pleasure can be, if collected, gives you long term satisfaction for long term use. So this is what it is. This is Ayush Kumar signing off. Zoom. आप सभी का हृदय की गहराइयों से प्रेम पूर्वक धन्यवाद.